Hi, I'm John Klein. I'm the director of the feature film Chrysalis and the producer of Glass City Films, the company that made the film.
And is this your first film in a film festival, or have you had many?
This is my second film as a director that's gone to festivals, and I believe it played here when it first came out. I also produced Separation Anxiety, which was here some time ago. So we've produced a number of films, and a few of them have been to this festival. So,
What was the inspiration for Chrysalis? How'd that come about?
The writer of the film, Ben Kirsten, he likes to say he wrote it for a girl. He was driving through Harvey in Illinois, which is where the mall was where they filmed the Blues Brothers, which is now, of course, abandoned and mostly torn down at this point. But he was driving by and saw, that would be a great place to film a zombie movie. I should totally make a movie like that. And then, as he says, the relationship didn't work out, but the movie did work out. So that's where it all started for us.
How long did it take to get the movie finished?
So I received the first draft of the script in September of 2011, and we raised the money in the summer of 2012, shot the film in the winter of 2013, and released the film in April of 2014. So from the time I first got the script until it was done, it was about 3 years or so, which was just crazy.
And you have some of your actors and actresses here today with you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring actors and actresses over.
Actors and actresses. Sara and
Come and give us the.
So how'd you do your casting?
So the casting for the film was actually relatively easy because Ben and I both know Cole and Sara very well. We've worked with them on previous projects in the past. Cole is one of my best friends and one of my closest colleagues. And the script was actually written with both of them in mind. So it wound up being pretty easy for that. And then for Abira, the supporting actress role in the film, we cast Tanya through a very limited closed audition process, and she was just incredible. She just knocked everybody's socks off with how in tune she was with the emotional core of the character. So
Yeah, okay.
it was very painless. Come on in. Either side. Here over here.
Aw, that's so sweet. Okay, talent. Tell us, how'd you find the character in this world? How'd you find your people?
Well, for me, it was a matter of taking not far from who I am, but taking away all of the modern things that we live with. So there's no technology, there's no electricity, there's no phones, there's no cell phone service. So there's a quietness, I think, in all the characters that we don't really live with often in today's world. So I think for me, it was a matter of just kind of dialing away all the noise and finding kind of this heartbeat of this character who lives in kind of not a sheltered life, but she's not had, she grew up in relative safety in a dangerous world, and she's always had a protector, and Cole is such a great scene partner, and then it just kind of all comes together with Ben's a great script, and Cole, it just kind of fell together.
And it helps that it was really cold when we were shooting, so that gets you in tune with the characters right away.
Yeah.
Did you find a special, a lot of people think the wardrobe. Once I get into wardrobe, I mean character. Did you have anything like that?
There were certain parts of my wardrobe that I actually brought from home, and we just tattered up and everything. And I found that the wardrobe really helped me a lot.
Just getting in shape too, I feel like, for you.
Yeah, I dropped like 30 pounds or 26 pounds or something for the role. I was like 185 and I got down to 167. And so feeling how baggy the clothes were on me really helped me figure out how he moves and how he thinks and kind of how tired he is and how oppressed he feels when he's carrying all of his existence on his back.
So did you guys follow the script, or was there a lot of improv?
We followed the script, I would say, pretty, not religiously, but I always like to tell, when directing, I like to tell the actors that this is not a Bible, this is a guideline. And so if there's things that don't sound 100% right coming out of the actors' mouths. I feel like you guys have license to change that, but Ben was such a good screenwriter in this case, and the dialogue that was so sparse.
And we were involved early, so Cole and I read earlier versions of the script, and we kind of gave some feedback, like
Table reads. And
if
things
something kind of felt like it didn't quite fit right, or something didn't connect with the character quite right, we would talk about it as a group, and then they would take the script back, and they made a few, not a great number of changes, but I think that helps when you're involved in the process at an early stage, when you can give feedback that doesn't kind of.
And final pen to paper was between Ben and John directing, and Ben was also the DP. So if something like in the location just doesn't make sense because of the location we had,
we were both
say,
on set.
hey,
Yeah.
how about this and set? And they were like, oh yeah, of course.
And we had
There's
a few
no roof
changes.
there.
There were a few scenes that kind of changed a little while we were in filming. I think of like the one in the bleachers. I feel
Yeah.
like changed and
yeah,
added
yeah.
kind of that scare moment that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
It just seemed right.
I think
in the moment.
I think the big thing was like during the rehearsal process and during our conversations before we started shooting was to make sure that you guys had a very clear relationship that felt like it had a history, and it felt like there were little inside jokes and little things that you guys did for each other that even if they weren't in the script, if you just did them and there were certain looks, they would come across and you would feel that there was this shared life between these two characters. And so it was really important for all three of us, I think, to develop that.
What was your biggest challenge in the filming? Making
What wasn't our biggest
Generally, the weather. Probably
Yeah.
right.
The locations are fantastic but dangerous.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. We took care as good of care of everybody as we possibly could. But you're shooting in abandoned buildings. You're shooting in places that you can't always 100% control the outcome of where you're at. So, and the weather was changing. So we'd have we have to just look out for everybody.
Yeah, and even the equipment, so in the cold, like some of the equipment would start to go out, and so we have to like warm it up. And
These are hand warmers that were
Yeah.
reserved for us. We put them on the cameras and set.
And then at one point we had when things started to thaw one day, we had like the ceiling started to kind of
Yeah.
drip debris, and so there was some weird.
So we wrapped that early and rushed that.
Yeah, it was like real.
That
There
was
was,
the scene we did quickly.
There's a really climactic scene, actually where my breakdown is.
Yeah,
and it was all mapped out one way. We went in the next day and the entire room was covered in fresh graffiti. And so we're like, okay, we're going to shoot only this half of the room now
Yep.
and reblock the entire thing. It worked really well.
No, it worked fantastic.
Yeah,
That was the thing.
you
I feel
wouldn't
like
know in the final version.
I feel like for all of the things that we encountered, just these sort of idea, and this is every low budget film that you'll ever see, is like limitation breeds creativity. And so all of the things that we had to deal with on set wound up being just informing the finished
did.
film and wound up making it, I think, better. We were originally supposed to shoot in the winter, but because we shot in the winter, it made everything feel that much more desolate and isolated and despairing.
desperate.
Yeah.
So your
think the
biggest
only-
challenges kind of became your happy accidents.
Yeah.
I think the only actual, like truly, oh, this sets us back problem was gunshots.
Yeah, that was
Because you couldn't reshoot that scene for another how long?
Yeah, we had to wait a month because we had gunshots in the vicinity of where we were shooting. We were shooting in Gary, which has a reputation that sort of precedes it. But like there was one day where we had gunshots in the middle of the night when we were supposed to shoot this very climactic scene, and we just instantly were like, yep, I took the actors aside, like, what do you guys want to do? We canceled the rest of the night, and we postponed that last scene, found another location, and shot that scene like a month and a half later.
Found out that was actually like an amateur gun range.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, oh.
It's like all of the crazy things, like.
But you never know, and,
Yeah.
and safety
Oh,
is
yeah.
important. I mean,
Yeah,
John
for
cares
sure.
very much about everybody on set being taken care of and not feeling unsafe, because there are unsafe conditions, and we're running with axes and
Fake axes and sledgehammers, yeah.
But
Not
John
always.
you took great care though to make sure that everybody felt not in danger and safe. So you can't say that about every filmmaker. Some filmmakers just want to get it done, and
That's true.
Talent is expendable.
Yeah, and it was never like that on set. The person doing the smallest job, none of the jobs were small, but
Yeah, everybody was
a
very much
part.
because everyone was sacrificing blood, sweat, and tears just to be on set in the first place with all the conditions we were dealing with. So it was like everyone was very much on sort of a level playing field at the end of it.
Yeah.
and
Tell
knew
us
their
about
jobs.
your future projects that are coming up.
So Glass City Films right now is working on a short film. The guy who did our marketing for Chrysalis actually is writing and directing a short film that we're producing called Limerence, and we'll be filming that sometime in the spring of next year. We're still in the development and fundraising phase of that right now. And beyond that, I'm getting my MFA and I'm going to be teaching. I'm already teaching right now. As for you guys, I'm a parent, I'm a full-time dad too. That's always a different job to deal with.
Yeah. I don't have any films in the. I'm working on a few different scripts and stuff like that. And hopefully we'll get those into production soon. And then, as actors, we're just always auditioning for a million things at once.
I'm just getting back into. I've got 1 or 2 plays coming up. I'm working on because Sara and I both do theater. Actually, primarily in Chicago. I mean, we probably do 60-70% theater to film, and that's like always shifting. But got that going on right now.
And that's what I mean. I think what we love about Chicago is that there is this incredible community of people who do theater, who do film, who will cross between both of those worlds, and everything. Like, so the way everything informs everything else. So like you get to take all of that, and you get to collaborate with these amazing people who have these vast experiences. I think that's what makes Chicago Chicago.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your film with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for bringing us.